Yo, what is good, people? Welcome back to another episode of the F1 2022 My Team series here on the channel. We are in Season 2. If you missed the last episode, go back and check it out. It was a banging race in Bahrain. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you check out first the pre-season video we did before Season 2, so then you can get yourself fully up to date and know what's going on. There's been a lot of driver transfers. You can see our teammate on the screen right now is Jenson Button for Season 2. Wasn't impressed with him in the first race. Hopefully he can bounce back in Jeddah today and be a bit better than he was in Bahrain, let's just say that. But yeah, like I say, go and check out the pre-season video, check out the first race in Bahrain, and then we're getting into the second race of the season today in Jeddah, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. I absolutely love this circuit. I don't know how you feel about it. Obviously it was new last year, just got added, and I don't know why, but I just love it. It's so fast, and it reminds me of Monaco, but actually fun. I love obviously I use a wheel and pedal setup. I love driving close to walls. It gets your adrenaline pumping, you get in the zone, just fully focused. One mistake and you're in the wall and it's race over, you know. So you have to be fully focused. I just love it. Yeah, so we're starting a lap. We're currently sat in P8, actually above George Russell in the Mercedes there in P9. Russell's struggling so far. We take turn 1 and 2 very nicely indeed. Even though we're in P8, we're still improving by nearly 3/10 on our previous lap. And then coming through now, it's just so fast and flowing, this track, one corner after another. And when you hook it up, it just feels so good. And the car felt incredible for the whole weekend, like coming through now, managing to keep it within the track limits there just about. And yeah, so I don't know if it was a setup. We go purple in sector 1 there. Like, it felt good and it looked good and it was good. Purple through sector 1 in qualifying. Big stamp of oversteer on the exit to the hairpin there, which we have to correct. But we managed to catch it before anything drastic happens. Coming through, missing the apex slightly there. Wasn't a great turn-in, but straight line speed down the back straight here is very, very important. Once you come around that first hairpin, it's pretty much just straight line speed now. And with our Red Bull powertrain in the car we saw in Bahrain last time, our straight line speed is massively improved compared to last season. We go green, obviously, in Sector 2. This is to our previous Delta time, which was obviously good enough for P8. Max Verstappen down in P7. It seems like everyone's struggling in this qualifying session, but coming around the last hairpin now, pushing it right up close to the wall, using as much of the track as possible, opening up DRS on the throttle. Now it's straight line speed again. We're going to cross the line with the fastest lap of the session in this Q1 session. We go purple in Sector 1 and green through Sector 2 and 3. And it's actually the fastest lap. But by the end of the session, it was only good enough for P7. But still, P7, that is pace. Our teammate Jenson Button down in P14. At least he's qualified. Unlike in Bahrain when he qualified in P22. Jenson, I need him to step up. I really need him to step up. Thought it was going to be a great partnership, me and Jenson Button. But at the minute, it's not looking good, bruv. So, into another lap. We've got Sergio Perez in front of us. Hopefully, he isn't going to hold us up. He moves to the side there. We understeer slightly, almost go into Sergio Perez. It cost us a bit of time there. Threw me off focus a little bit. But luckily, well, not luckily, because now we're red in the Delta. It definitely cost us time having Perez in the way there. But we can still improve. There is still time to be gained. And, you know, we know that the setup is on point. The car feels great. The tyres were just sticking. Obviously, a bit of oversteer coming through the hairpin there, just based on your throttle control on the way out of it. But yeah, the car just felt great this whole weekend. I can't lie, and that's why this is one of my favourite tracks. High speed. Once you nail a lap in Jeddah, like that last lap we done. Once you nail a lap, it just feels good. It just feels good, you know, and you're made up with yourself. And again, just looking for straight line speed here down the back straights. We've got another car in front of us. I think that's Sebastian Vettel. I can't really see the nameplate from where I'm sat, but hopefully they don't hold us up. Hopefully they punch a hole in the air and actually give us a bit of a slipstream on the way down to the final corner now. We're not going to be in their way into the braking zone, hopefully. Or are we? Sebastian Vettel. It is Vettel. And on the exit there, right up close to the wall again, trying not to do a Max Verstappen and put it into the wall, opening up the RS wing, and we've got a bit of a slipstream from Vettel across the line. Good enough for P8. That is not good enough for where we want to be. Obviously, we were much faster than that, even in the first session. But that is going to be it for our Q2 session, and for qualifying in general. We finished P11, just missing out on the top 10 there. Jenson Button P14, he stays there. Just missing out on Q3 there. Let's get to the race.
Here we are then, welcoming you today to one of the jewels of the Arab world, Jeddah. One of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, second only to Riyadh, gateway to Mecca, and one of the biggest ports in the region. and now host to the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Leclerc, Lando Norris, and Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, and Yuki Tsunoda. The owner driver, Tiktok, Pierre Gasly, and Button, Vettel, Stroll, Robert Schwartzman, and Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, Latifi, Joe, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So a front row lockout then for Red Bull in Jeddah. A good sign for us with that Red Bull powertrain in the car. Maybe that means we're going to have a lot of speed too, like we saw in Bahrain last week. The straight line speed of the car is definitely improved compared to last season. Now, the formation lap, I'm thinking about turning them off because obviously the reason why we do them is to heat the tyres up. If you don't have them on, the tyres don't heat up. They've just released a patch today as I'm recording this that has now fixed that. So if you have formation lap off, you will start with heating your tyres. In fact, you know what, I may as well leave them on because then I can get my heat into the tyres and not just whatever the game picks. But yeah, so for anyone who didn't know that, if you turn formation lap off, you will now start with heated tyres, which should have been in from the start, but you know, Codemasters, it's a buggy game. But can we get a good parking spot in the grid slot if Esteban Ocon moves? Yes, we can. Purple optimal parking there. Now, I'm already eyeing up Yuki Tsunoda to the left. This guy is not fast. I'm faster than Yuki Tsunoda, and straight away I'm thinking he's going to be an easy meal as we get into this race. Esteban Ocon in front, I'm going to kill him. But his five red lights and lights out, and away we go. Here in Jeddah, quick start from the Mercedes there, pulling out already, looking to make moves down into turn one. We're looking up the inside there of the Alpine and of Esteban Ocon, and we've already beat Ocon 2 wide or 3 or 4 wide actually through turn 2 with George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, and somebody else in the back there. Here's Fernando Alonso in front of the Alpine. Can we go around the outside of the other Alpine? We've already beat his teammate Yuki Tsunoda. Alonso wheel to wheel with him. A bit of oversteer here. We need to be careful with these tyres on lap 1. Don't want to push it too hard and see an incident like we had in USA in season 1, if you do remember that. But now we're in an Alpine sandwich, getting blocked off by Alonso in front and Yuki Tsunoda behind. George Russell down in P10. He's struggled all weekend. We saw him in qualifying as well. He was struggling for pace. Don't know what's up with him, but can we catch up to Alonso? Alonso flying ahead as we come out to the hairpin there, and Yuki Tsunoda right on our gearbox. But we have a lot of battery charge we're going to use to try and chase down Alonso before the end of this lap. Hopefully we can put in that gap to Tsunoda behind. It's very hard to overtake on this second half of the track. It's just very straight line speed based, like I say. So if you're not faster than the car in front of you, you're not going to be able to make an overtake. So we don't really have to worry about Yuki Tsunoda behind for now. But can we catch up? Now you can see we've got 70% battery charge and we're using it all to try and catch Alonso. I told you this in season 1. We focused a lot of our upgrades in that ERS section of the engine to try and get the most out of that battery component of the engine, because it is so overpowered once you do upgrade it. And I think I might call this video something like, you need to upgrade this in my team. And that is what I'm talking about. It's the ERS. Because already we've used a lot of battery charge there. We've caught up to Alonso. Had a little look around the outside through turn 1. Not going to be able to make a move there. It's very packed up at the front here. You can see normally there's a bit of a gap created by now. But we can see like the next 5 cars or something in front. I don't know if there's someone slow in the front who shouldn't be there on the wrong side of the world. But yeah, we'll find out soon enough, I'm pretty sure. But like I say, using that battery charge, and once you upgrade it more, you get more back. Obviously, the battery recovers into braking. Speaking of into braking, we look up the inside here of Fernando Alonso. Can we make a move up the inside of the hairpin? Alonso around the outside, a lot more traction on the exit there. We do go purple in sector 1 on that lap and green in sector 2. Can we try and set the fastest lap? Yes, we can. On lap 3, we set the fastest lap. And we saw last time out in Bahrain, we actually set the fastest lap of the race there too. But that was on lap 26 out of 29. That was a weird one. I did not expect that. But yeah, we ended up getting... sorry, I'm sat really close to the mic there. Let me back up a bit. But yeah, we ended up setting the fastest lap there. Try and make a move past Fernando Alonso, and somebody locked up. I don't know if that was Alonso or Norris, but that's a double overtake through turn 1 and 2 on the Alpine of Alonso and the McLaren of Lando Norris. Lando and Fernando battling in the back there, 2 wide, and we can see the 2 Ferraris in front battling 2 wide. Lewis Hamilton struggling to get past these 2 Ferraris, and we nearly go into the back of Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz there. That was an unfair advantage from us. Obviously, we have to cut the corner to avoid a collision, so I let them take the position back. But chaos in Jeddah, as now the 2 Alpines are together and they're battling. I don't know what happened to Lando Norris, but Yuki Tsunoda's managed to get past him. And it looks like a big snap of oversteer we managed to catch there. This is absolute chaos on the early stages of this race. 14% tyre wear already. We're only on lap 4 and the tyres are already like getting proper burnt out. Now there's a yellow flag behind. I don't know what's going on there. We'll have to check that out. But we're chasing down Lewis Hamilton. Still so much battery charge. That's what I was talking about before I got distracted. Our battery is just so upgraded right now. It is so overpowered once you do have this. And it's going to be Lando Norris. Speak of the devil. He's going to have to retire from this race with engine failure. Hate to see it, any Lando or McLaren fans out there. And yeah, sorry if the mic sounded a bit weird before. I had to try and plug my laptop in and the wires got tangled. But yeah, so back to the race anyway. Verstappen takes the fastest lap. We did set another purple sector 1. We seem to be very fast through that sector, and we set fastest lap again. Fastest lap again, showing our pace. We showed it in qualifying, and we're showing it here in the race. Leclerc off the track. I don't know what's happened to him. Leclerc off the track. Can we try and make an opportunistic overtake there, like Lewis Hamilton's done? Up into P4. We're using a lot of battery charge. Up the inside of Leclerc, into the braking zone, parking ourselves on the apex, and we are up past Charles Leclerc, the one-time world champion. He won the world championship in season 1 of our career mode. We've made an overtake on him. His championship defence has been a stinker so far. He retired last week in Bahrain. He's gone off the track there very weirdly. Don't know if Carlos Sainz pushed him off or something, because them two were racing wheel to wheel for a good few laps. But now we're up into P5. We are in P5. This is crazy, and we've got so much pace. Our battery is already nearly back to 100%, and we're not even after using it to defend against Charles Leclerc. Even with DRS, as soon as he opens up the DRS wing, I think there's 3 DRS points around this track, isn't there? As soon as he opens it and gets that extra speed, we can just use our battery to get extra speed ourselves. And with the amount of upgrades we've done, we just recover so much battery charge under braking. And then we're back up to 100% again. And as you can see here, DRS zone. So I'm using the battery to try and pull away from Leclerc. And our battery charge was actually giving us more pace than Leclerc's DRS was giving him. So just showing how OP the battery is. It's even more effective than DRS, which is crazy to say. Speaking of DRS, we are out of DRS range too. Lewis Hamilton in front. We are getting very close though, and he's trying to make a move on Carlos Sainz. He's going to have DRS, and you can see him trying to make that move down into turn 1. They're going to go 2 wide through turn 1 and turn 2. Can we try and capitalise on this now? Them two are going to be going slow on the exit. And look how much time we've made up. Those two were off into the distance, and now we're right there. Hamilton up the inside of Sainz. We've done the same thing to Charles Leclerc before. Sainz understeers a little bit. It's still 2 wide. This is great racing from Carlos Sainz and Hamilton. Massive snap of oversteer for the 2 cars in front and for us at the same place. And Sainz yields the position. Lewis Hamilton goes ahead. Hamilton up into the podium spot in P3, and now we are in a Ferrari sandwich. He was in an Alpine sandwich to start the race, and now we are in a Scuderia Ferrari sandwich with Carlos Sainz, the man in front, and Charles Leclerc, the man behind. Fernando Alonso Only 4 tenths behind Charles Leclerc. He's still in this fight. It's crazy what's going on up at the front now. And speaking of the front, I don't even know where the front 2 cars are. Those 2 Red Bulls are just having a party. They probably finished the race already. Those 2 are way off into the distance. But again, now we have DRS and we're using the battery on top of that. It's like we've got double the speed. And now just look at the closing speed that we had on Sainz there. Well, it was only came up for a second. But Carlos Sainz up the inside of Lewis Hamilton into the hairpin. We go deep and miss the apex ourselves on the hairpin. And it's a great overtake from Carlos Sainz. We tried to do that to Alonso before and it didn't work out. But Sainz, a great overtake on Hamilton there. And we're trying to look at set up a move on Hamilton. Make him defend the inside. Go to the outside. We're going to be ahead into the braking zone. No, we're not, because Hamilton goes way later on the brakes. But through turn 2, we have the inside line. Who's going to have more traction on the exit? Us up the inside or Hamilton on the outside? It's going to be us. We make a move on Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion. And we're up into P4. Almost making contact with the wall there. I think we actually did. But it was just the side of the tyre. Got the turning completely wrong. Now we're trying to chase down Carlos Sainz. If we can take Carlos Sainz, we're up into the podium spots, which is absolutely crazy to say in Season 2 of the My Team career mode. Did not expect to be in a position like this at all, but just showing the pace of this car, the Red Bull powertrain and those ERS upgrades, giving us ridiculous straight line speed. I mean, even through the corners, the car was just sticking. It did feel really good through the corners. Like I say, our setup was perfect. If you want to know what setup I used for this race, by the way, drop a comment and I'll reply to all comments. So I'll let you know the setup in the comments if you do need help with setup. In fact, go back to any race and let me know if you need help with setup, because I do custom setups for every race. But yeah, lap 8 now. We're still chasing down Carlos Sainz. The tyres on like 33% wear, really falling off after only 8 laps here in this race. Almost considering a 2-stop strategy. Would the 2-stop work? But it looks like everyone's going to be running the 1-stop. We saw last week in Bahrain just how difficult it was for the 2-stop runners. They were just so disadvantaged compared to the 1-stoppers. And look at the speed we've got with this battery charge down into turn 1. We're almost ahead, of Carlos Sainz into turn 1. And then coming through turn 2, it's an exact carbon copy of what happened with Lewis Hamilton. And we've made the move. We're up into the podium spot. We still hold the fastest lap of the race. And we're up into the podium spots. I don't know how or why or what we're doing here. But shout out to Codemasters for making straight line speed the key to this game, because we are absolutely flying in this race. Thanks to our straight line speed, we've managed to pass so many cars. Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, guys you would never think that we should pass. I think Sainz is coming to the pits now because Hamilton and Leclerc are back up above him. He's nowhere to be seen. Maybe he's pit. I think we might pit this lap. So let's see if Hamilton, who is now right on our gearbox, and we'll have DRS down the home straight, let's see if he pits too. As we come in, is Hamilton in behind us? No, he's not. He stays out. So does Charles Leclerc. And Carlos Sainz is actually way down in P6. He's been overtaken by Fernando Alonso. So I don't know what happened to Sainz. But he's not pit yet. We come into the pits. Nobody else does. We're going with that undercut. It gives us a chance to get out there, set some laps on fresh rubber while everyone else is struggling with old tyres. It was definitely time for us to come in now. I was struggling for grip so much. And those tyres were just at the limit, really. So will it help? Obviously, hard tyres, freezing cold coming out to the pits, need to get some heat into them. Does it even matter trying to set laps on fresh rubber when the tyres are this cold? Who knows? Let's find out. We're going to skip to the end of the lap and see who comes into the pits on the next lap. Now remember, Lewis Hamilton was right on our gearbox as we came into the pits. Let's see if the undercut has worked. Leclerc in the pits. So is Alonso. So is Hamilton. We're coming through turn 1 now. They should be coming out to the pits anytime soon. Coming through turn 2. Getting on that throttle and accelerating out. Lewis Hamilton 1.1 seconds behind. The undercut has worked perfectly. We've actually gained a whole second on Lewis Hamilton coming out to the pits, and now he's split. Well, Dan Ticktum is in P9. He's split Charles Leclerc and Hamilton. Massive understeer coming through the hairpin there, and we actually touched the wall slightly. We go red through sector 1, green through sector 2. Mess up on the last corner there, and as we cross the line, it's another fastest lap of the race. I don't know how, because we set a red sector 1 and messed up the last corner. That just shows this straight line speed of this car this season is absolutely ridiculous. We were just using so much battery down the straight. You see the gap to Hamilton now, 2.5 seconds. We're just absolutely blitzing. Now we're in that Goldilocks zone I always talk about. Not too close to the car ahead, not too close to the car behind. We're just in a nice zone, cruising. 10 laps left in this race. And Kevin Magnussen is out of the session. Yellow flags all round. Safety car is out. Kevin Magnussen here in the Williams. What's happened? A car blows up in front of him and he just goes straight into the back. Kevin Magnussen out of this race. Obviously, Kevin Magnussen in the Williams, it was hard to find them. Zhou Guanyu narrowly escapes. It's Alex Albon's Williams, so it's actually the two Williams taking each other out. Albon with engine failure takes out Kevin Magnussen as Magnussen goes straight into the back of him. And yeah, safety car out. Zhou Guanyu got squeezed by Alex Albon there, and he is also out of the session. Let's go back and see what happened to him. His right tyre, his front right, just spontaneously combust and just comes off the car. It looks like he went past Albon with no scratches, but I guess he must have made contact with Albon as he drove past, because his front right tyre just fell off. That is crazy to see. Yeah, I've never seen that before on this game, so I don't know. I genuinely do not know what happened there, but it looked like the two Red Bulls were gone in the distance, 7 seconds ahead or something like that. They'd won this race. Now we have a chance to attack them. Now we have a chance to come back and attack the two Red Bulls. Safety car in this lap. Let's see if we can get the jump on Max Verstappen. He's got the jump on us. We're using that battery to charge though. Look at the closing speed. Try and set Verstappen up to cover the inside so we can send one deep from downtown up the inside through turn 1. There's contact. Verstappen turns in and there's contact. There's no way Verstappen would ever let a move like that stick. That's risky from me, but I tried to send one up the inside on the restart. Try and make up that place. Now Verstappen defending hard. We take evasive action there so we don't go into the side of him. And here comes Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton back into the mix. Carlos Sainz in P5. Now he's been overtaken by Charles Leclerc. The two Ferraris battling behind. Lewis Hamilton right on our gearbox still. Can we stay in this position, boys? There's only a few laps left in this race. Can we get a podium spot? We know we're faster than the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton in a straight line. Can we just use that battery charge and the straight line speed to our advantage? The two Red Bulls out in front just showing they're the fastest cars on the grid right now, and this season it looks like it's going to be Red Bull dominated, and Sergio Perez sets the fastest lap of the race, and then we take it back off him. So we're still showing that we do have pace even towards the end of this stint on these hard tyres. DRS now enabled 2 laps after the safety car's gone in. Old tyres, hard tyres as well, so not even my favourite tyres. I don't even like hard tyres, and we've set the fastest lap of the race. We're sticking in that DRS range of Max Verstappen, even though he's off into the distance, using a lot of battery charge again to try and stick with him. The battery is so important. If you're running a My Team series, do not neglect those ERS energy recovery system upgrades in the powertrain section. They will help out massively when you use the battery in ways like I do. And again, fastest lap, 2 red sectors, but purple through sector 3. Just because of that straight line speed, it's crazy to see. We're right on the gearbox of Verstappen, coming through turn 2 yet again. 4 laps left in this race. Hamilton lost the place to Sainz. Them two battling behind now. 3 seconds behind, the cars behind. So it looks like we are pretty much secure the podium spot here, boys. But can we beat Max Verstappen to P2? Can we even chase down Perez? If we take Verstappen, there's a good chance we'll get Perez too, because you can see Perez right there. He's not even that far off into the distance. Big oversteer, getting on the curbs there. That was a scary moment, I can't lie. I thought we were about to mess up them and just go into the wall and die. Coming through the hairpin now, right on the gearbox of Verstappen. Good throttle control from both of us. We both have the same snap of oversteer as we just get on the throttle too early and the back end wants to kick out, but get that power down as early as possible. Chasing down Verstappen. We go green through sector 1. As you see, massive understeer, almost go straight into the wall there. Struggling for grip through that section. And when we mess up like that, we just straight away switch on the battery to try and close that gap again to Verstappen. We've got that DRS. We haven't even upgraded our DRS, I don't think. So it's not even like we're getting much advantage from that. But again, another DRS zone down this back straight. That's why I say it's all about straight line speed, because you've got 2 DRS zones. There's like 2 corners, yeah, but it's pretty much just a straight, realistically, if you avoid the corners. Down into the final corner. Is Verstappen going to be able to catch his teammate Perez before we do? Who knows? Let's find out. Back on the throttle again. Using that battery. We can pretty much use the, just leave the battery on for a whole lap and it won't even run out. We set another fastest lap of the race. The 2 Red Bulls in front. Or I think Verstappen set the fastest lap then, and then we took it off him again. Sergio Perez is the slowest man on the track right now. Me and Verstappen are literally so much faster than him. Verstappen just can't make any impact though to get past his teammate. Wonder if team orders coming into play over at Red Bull. Christian Horner said no, we let Perez stay ahead, or does he? There goes Verstappen looking to make a move and try and get the switch back through the hairpin. It's not. Good defense from Sergio Perez. Now can we capitalize? If these two are battling, they're going to go too wide down through turn 1 by the looks of it. There goes Verstappen. He's pulled out. We're using that battery charge to get in the mix. Down into turn 1, we brake early to try and capitalize on a mistake, and there is the mistake. Max Verstappen locks up into turn 1. Can we capitalize through turn 2? Yes, we can, and we are up in into P2. I've played that perfectly. Braked early for turn 1, expecting a mistake from Verstappen or Perez, and Verstappen locks up his front tyre, and on lap 23 we are up into P2 and chasing down Sergio Perez for the race win here in Jeddah. That would be crazy if we could win this race in a mid-table car. 1 lap left to go, defending hard on Verstappen, up the inside, down into turn 1. We can't catch Perez, we massively outbrake ourselves there, just to try and give ourselves extra defence against Verstappen if he tried to make any sort of move into turn 1, because we know what Verstappen's like with sending it up the inside. But yeah, defence against Verstappen, we haven't got long to go. It's a tricky track to overtake in Jeddah if you don't have that straight line speed, like I say, and we're trying to save up all of that battery charge to give it one last push down the back straight. Can we even overtake Perez? Like I say, Verstappen right on our gearbox, down into the hairpin now. He looks for a switchback, tried the outside, now he's trying the inside. Who's going to come out ahead here? Perez still in front, and we are in front of Verstappen still as we head towards the back end of the final lap of this race in Jeddah. Verstappen right on our gearbox, one mistake and it's all over for us, and Verstappen will take that P2 spot back. But now it's time to burn that battery charge, give it everything we've got down this back straight, because Verstappen is going to have that rear wing open. He's using that DRS charge down. We've got one braking zone left, or well, one more after this. We've got this fast section using the battery on exit. We've only got 20%. We're literally using everything that we've got saved up down this back straight. Verstappen with his rear wing open. One final corner in this race in Jeddah. We're defending the hairpin inside, using all of our battery. All of the charge is gone now. Verstappen round the outside of the hairpin, and Verstappen, look at that speed and grip he's got on the outside of the hairpin. He takes us into the final corner, and there is the checkered flag. We are going to be overtaken by Max Verstappen on the final corner of the final lap of this race. But we missed out on P2, but we can't be disappointed with that, because we finished P3. We get on the podium, driver of the day. That is a ridiculous amount of money coming to the team's way, because one of our sponsors, the goal is to get driver of the day. We've done that, and one I just bought for the sake of it, or one sponsor I just got for the sake of it, said finish on a podium spot, which I thought will never happen this season. But look at that, 3 Red Bull powertrains on the podium together, shaking hands with Sergio Perez. A good win for Checo there, and a great battle with Max Verstappen. It just feels good to be racing against good drivers, racing against the 2 Ferraris, Hamilton and Max this race, compared to last season racing against Latifi every race. Latifi, and he locks up every corner, wants to crash into you at every corner. It feels good to actually be in a competitive spot. Even though technically our car is only mid-table, we should be fighting against the Alpines this season. But yeah, it was so fun. This race was so fun. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. Bit of a longer episode as well. And we're on the podium there, trying to see our celebrations, but P3 never gets shown on the podium. A nice little thumbnail grab there though, if need be. But yeah, so we actually end the race with 15 points. We lose the fastest lap to someone. I don't know who took fastest lap. Can't even see it. No one in the top 14. But great race regardless. Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll and the AlphaTauris making up the top 10. And fastest lap actually went to George Russell, who ran a 3-stop strategy and finished P18. Don't know what that guy was thinking, or why he's took fastest lap off us, but yeah, 4 DNFs in this race, crazy scenes, and we finished P3 on the podium. I still can't believe it, up from P11 to P3. What a race that is. We're currently P4 in the driver standings with 21 points, and in the constructors we're P5. Now, to put this in perspective, 2 races into this season, we're on 21 points. Last season, we finished the season after 22 races on 21 points. We've actually matched last season's point total. There's the money you see. We got 660k from that race, from the sponsor goals. But yeah, we actually 2 races into the season, we've matched our point total from the whole of last season. That is crazy. We pick up a fuel upgrade there because it was free. If you do the practice sessions, you get discounts on your upgrades, if you didn't know that. And if you do it too much, the upgrades become free and you don't have to spend any points on them. So we get an engine upgrade for free on the fuel section. We're going to go ahead and pick up a drag reduction upgrade because we have Imola as the next Grand Prix, and straight line speed will be massive there too. We go ahead and pick up a turbo durability upgrade because that was free. And yeah, so the car's really coming together. Pick up an upgrade in the powertrain section so we can get that to spec 2. Car's really coming together. We have hella upgrades to come in before Imola, because remember, we're running a different calendar this year, so there's no Australia, I want to say it should be the 3rd race, but we've skipped that. So we have so many upgrades to come through, and Imola, the car is going to be even better than it was in Jeddah. This is crazy. We might actually be in with a title fight. I don't want to jinx it and say it too early, but with these upgrades coming through so quickly now, we might have a chance at fighting for the championship. It just depends how quick Red Bull actually are and how quick Red Bull stay. Because if those two, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, if they dominate every race, getting 1-2s or just podiums every race, then there's no chance. But, you know, there's a good chance we could be up there in top 3 maybe. I don't know, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's been 2 races. It's a long season ahead. Let's find out in Imola. But you can see the vehicle chart there for the engines. You might want to rewind and look at that again. The Red Bull engine was so clear of everyone else's engine. So that's a good sign for us, obviously having that Red Bull engine. Excuse me for coughing off mic there. But we pick up that final upgrade, drag reduction, coming through before Imola. We check out the drivers or the vehicle comparison charts with all of those upgrades coming through. And it says, like we say, mid-table, just above the stinkers at the bottom, just behind the stinkers in the middle. But realistically, I'm better than the stinkers in the middle. So, Imola, I'll see you next time, people. If you did enjoy this one, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I think P3 deserves a like on the video. I will catch us next time. Take it easy.